Do you know what the difference is between assets and liabilities? Well, I'm about to let you know right now. What's happening, Achievers? Ajit Sidhu here from Invincible Achievers. Now, when I was younger and just getting into the work environment, I wanted to figure out what an asset is and liability. Now, everybody knows, yeah, properties are assets and businesses are assets. But are they really assets? Now, when I started reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, he explained it the most easiest way. Assets are anything that puts money into your pocket, and liabilities is anything that's takes money out of your pocket. So when you define a property as an investment, as an asset, it's not really an asset if you are putting money from your pocket into the actual property over and over again to fix it up, to pay for the mortgage, to pay for expenditures. If cash flow is flowing out of your pocket and into the actual business, or sorry, the property, then it becomes a liability. Now, whenever you're starting off in anything, if you're investing in a property, if you're investing in a business, it will be a liability right at the beginning. It will be, because you have to put money in. That's where the saying comes from. You have to put money in to make money. So that's where you start putting money in. It's the same is true for any part of any assets you buy, any business that you do, anything you do. It's going to be initially you put your money in. However, when you're measuring it, you're checking it out, you're seeing it, you're taking care of it, and still money's not flowing into your pocket, then it becomes a long-term liability. And once it becomes a long-term liability, you have to figure out if you need to remove it away or do something new with it. Now, with myself, and when it comes to the properties or business, I'm always analyzing this. However, assets have changed recently. Now, before 2000, assets were all about land, about properties, about business, and still it is. However, we're in the digital age now, and assets are digital as well. So any videos that you put out, any knowledge-based courses that you're putting out there, any podcasts, advertising, people don't realize that when you do advertising, that's an asset. You put an advert out on the digital, you can actually measure it. Whereas previously, when we used to do the olden day methods of going out, handing out leaflets, you couldn't get the measurements. When you did a big billboard, you couldn't measure, you couldn't optimize, you couldn't do all that stuff. And if you were doing that, it would take you about 6 months to a year to figure out if your advert is working and if you need to tweak it and change it. And it was an expensive process. Now with Facebook, with Google, with Instagram, with Pinterest, with all of those social media, you can actually see within a week if it's working. With Facebook, I believe I'm pretty good at Facebook advertising. When you do Facebook advertising, you have to put out about 5 to 10 same pictures just to test out which picture works. Once you know which picture works, then you have to change the titles and use about 5 to 10 new titles and see which titles work. And then once you've done that, you have to do it for the headers. And once you've done that, you have to keep optimizing and you have to keep measuring. Once you've done it and it's all great, that becomes an asset, because now the cost of actually putting an advert out to get a click into your business, you can reduce it by optimizing it to making sure that it's great. And all you're doing here is you're appreciating your assets. This is how assets are appreciated. You have to measure it. You have to take care of it. Anything you take care of, anything you focus on, it appreciates. Now the liabilities, going to liabilities, a car is a liability because it takes money out of your pocket. You take it off the lot, it devalues immediately. What about your own house? What about a big house that you buy with a big swimming pool, tennis courts? Is that an asset? No, it isn't, because it's not putting money into your pocket. It's taking money out. So your house is a liability. That's something that people aren't aware of. And Robert Kiyosaki said it best. when the boom hit, whenever the economy crashed down, that's when people started to hand their keys of their own house back to the bank because it was a liability. Whereas if it's an asset, it carries on putting money in your pocket. Now, here comes the key thing the message that I want to send out. Anything you take care of, anything you focus on, anything you measure and keep improving, that appreciates. Just like when you're starting off a business, starting off in the property investment real estate world, even if you're doing something online, anything you do, you focus on, you take care of, you measure, it appreciates. It gets bigger, it becomes better, it becomes a valuable asset. But that is also that is the truth when it comes to appreciating life, when it comes to appreciating your family, when it comes to appreciating your body. Whatever you focus on, you take care of, you measure, it becomes more valuable. And that's why gratitude is such a major part of, it should be a major part of everyone's morning ritual and daily routine. The back mind chatter that goes on continuously should be appreciation, because anything that appreciates becomes more valuable. Same is true when you appreciate your body, your life, your family, your children, your education, your house, your car. If you don't have a car, your legs. Anything you appreciate, it grows. Once that appreciation is inside of you and you're appreciating that, that becomes an asset. And from there you can move forward, because once this life is finished, you're going to turn around and think and look at what you appreciated, because that's going to be the most valuable thing. Now, if it's about work and money and the loads of like Scrooge McDuck with his big vault you could go swimming in the money, if that's what you've been appreciating and not adding value to people's lives, not helping others, not giving back, then it's not an asset. It's not going to be an asset for you. Whereas if you just think right now, what's more valuable? Money or time with your family? Money or time with yourself? Now, if you're in a situation where you're thinking, oh wow, I do want the money, then it comes to a point where you need to use leverage. Now, this is the next part that I just want to quickly hit upon, and I will do another video on this. Leverage. There's two ways of increasing your assets, you're appreciating your assets. Now, this is not appreciating life. This is the assets, the actual assets that you have. Your business, your internet business, your physical business, your properties, all your investments. The way you can appreciate them, to take care of them, focus on them, is leverage. You don't have to do everything yourself. If you do have a team, what the old method has always been is delegate. Now, delegate is you tell someone to do something, you expect them to do it, you don't check up on it, they don't do it, you tell them off. Then it goes on in that cycle. But leverage is like trying to lift a heavy weight, a heavy rock. When you're trying to lift a heavy rock and you can't, you get a pole and stick it in underneath and anchor it from the end. That becomes leverage. That's the same thing. Leveraging your business is getting a team together, letting that person know that this is your tasks, this is what you're going to do, but we're a team. I'm going to be checking up on you. If you need anything, you come back to me. Do not just leave it to them. That's the same thing with passive income. People think passive income, you have an asset, you have an investment and the money just keeps rolling in. No, passive does not exist. Leveraged income exists. Leveraging income is when you've created something, you still have the eye on the ball. Even if you're doing something else, you go back to check. Are you all right? Do you need any help? Can I do something for you? You got it. Good. And you're back to what you're doing now. Leverage. So, guys, just going to quickly recap. Difference between asset and liability. Assets is anything that puts money into your pocket. Liabilities is anything that takes it out of your pocket. Anything that you want to grow, you have to focus on. You have to take care of it. You have to measure it. That thing appreciates, but the same is true with life. Anything that you want to appreciate, anything you appreciate with gratitude, anything you appreciate in your life grows. And once it grows, that's where they say the law of attraction is. The law of attraction is actually, it exists. It doesn't attract from the universe anywhere. It exists from within because we're appreciating it. We're taking care of it. We're focusing on it. It grows within, not without. And once we understand that, then we can actually go on to the passive and leverage. Leverage and delegation. Leverage and delegation. So leverage, you're leveraging something, you're in control, you're making sure. But if you're doing passive income, then that doesn't exist. Delegation, that's the old method. It's all about leverage. Guys, I hope it really helped. If it did help, hit like, share it, subscribe, and guys, keep adding value to people's lives, keep spreading the love. And just remember, we're one idea away from changing the future, and that's within you. Take care. Bye.